Welcome to another episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm here in Indianapolis on site, not in the Football Scientific studios. Sorry, I'm looking at my camera. I'm used to having a tripod, guys. Went through, made some predictions last night, talked about the NFL predictions, talking about some different situations going on in all the leagues. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to recap some of the things that happened last night in the NFL and in the CFL and in the ELF. And then also we're going to talk about our predictions for the IFL this week. It looks like DraftKings pulled down the IFL betting lines. Maybe we were too good last week. Our predictions were too good last week. And our betting guide shut down DraftKings taking bets on the IFL. They may pop back up later on, and if that's the case, I'll probably make a short about that. But right now I'm just going to go through and kind of go through the NFL news, review some CFL outcomes, some ELF outcomes, and then give our betting guide for the IFL, assuming that the lines do come back up sometime. I'll give our predictions. I don't know if it can be a betting guide without their input, I guess. So, and they're the only site allowing you to bet on IFL games. Okay, so here we go. First in the NFL, I am Aaron Sauter. I write for footballanalysis1.com about Cincinnati Bengals, fantasy football, and the NFL. I also write for CFLnewshub.com. I talk about the Hamilton Ticats. Whoop, whoop, got our first win in June since 2019. Last night, upsetting the Montreal Alouettes. While my prediction was wrong, I am happy to be wrong when it comes to the Ticats winning a game, especially in June. Now, we have a chance to be in second place if I'm wrong about Ottawa knocking off Toronto on Sunday. But we'll see. I still think Ottawa's got to knock off Toronto. Toronto with Nick Arbuckle is not the same Toronto team. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go through we also talk about the ELF, the NAL, UFL, and all that on Football Scientific. So sorry for the lack of polish to the video. This is how it's going to be a little bit until we get back to the studio, probably tomorrow. Okay, all right. So first in NFL, former Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen. He has stated, just like Jalen Ramsey, he wants to stay on the West Coast. He likes the 49ers, Chargers, or Rams if he wants to play this year. Why? He wants to go to the beach, man. He wants to go to the beach. And you know Jalen Ramsey already said, going to the beach in Miami, there's no parking, bro. No parking. So he decided to go. He wants to go West Coast. He wants to go San Francisco, LA Chargers, or Rams. They don't care about the high taxes or the inflation. They just want to go to the beach. And I respect that. Okay? New York Giants. They are feeling that quarterback Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson are great. They're great leaders in their locker room. That says a lot about the roster of the Giants right now, that those guys are great leaders in their locker room. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Arizona Cardinals. I saw a report today that quarterback Kyler Murray is predicted to be, he's been in his bag this offseason, according to Buda Baker. Meaning I think he's been putting in some work is what he's saying. He's putting in some work. That's a translation from he's in his bag from Buda Baker. Okay, so watch out for Kyler Murray. I predict Kyler Murray to be really good in fantasy football. And I expect the Cardinals to make the playoffs this year. So those might be bold predictions. I don't know. They don't seem that bold to me. All right, next, the CFL outcomes on Thursday night. Edmonton Elks traveled to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Edmonton lost that game 36-23. How? How, you may ask? Well, it's hard to say, really. Edmonton threw the ball for 250 yards and a touchdown. Trey Ford had a pretty good game. They ran the ball for 93 yards and had one fumble, okay? They also had one quarterback sack. Winnipeg Blue Bombers threw for 34 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, that would normally not be that relevant, except the Blue Bombers only ran for 94 rushing yards, and they had one fumble. So pretty much 93 and 94 rushing yards wash each other out. One fumble on each side washes each other out. No interceptions wash each other out. That means Edmonton did a really good job of staying in this game, okay? They just couldn't take advantage of their opportunities. They played a really solid game. They did give up 3 sacks, but that doesn't translate into wins and losses. They played a really solid game, but they took their 3rd loss in a row. This is the 2nd game the Elks have played that I felt they've played pretty good football, and then they still took a loss. So sad for the Elks fans, you know. Maybe the Eskimos' curse is real. All right, so that was Thursday night. We were right. Winnipeg Blue Bombers got the win, as predicted by me and Randall burned. So maybe that little Wolf guy, Wolfie D, was back in Wolf form. He picked Winnipeg, Canada Day. I picked Winnipeg. We were both right. Now, here's the one we were wrong on, but I'm glad we were wrong on it. Last night, Montreal Alouettes traveled to Hamilton, Ontario, Hamilton Stadium, soon to be Porter Airlines Stadium, I've heard. Montreal Alouettes, they threw the ball, returned 3 passing yards, and McLeod Bethel Thompson as their quarterback, the backup quarterback. He did throw 2 interceptions, though. Once I said, if you pressure him, you get him out of the pocket, he'll throw some interceptions. And he did. He threw 2 interceptions. They only ran the ball for 38 rushing yards. That's a bad recipe. Normally Montreal gets defensive touchdowns. They didn't this time. They usually do. That's what usually powers them to a victory. That's why I figured they'd win this game. Hamilton Tiger Cats came out. They threw for 258 passing yards. No surprise. They have the best passing offense in the league. Bo Eli Mitchell is probably the best quarterback in the league right now. Arguably. People will argue about that. But just look at the stats, man. Probably the best in the league right now. 258 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's a good day from Bo Levi Mitchell in the offense. 60 rushing yards, 1 fumble. They outrushed Montreal Alouettes. That means they're looking good here, man. No interceptions. They got some interceptions. They got a fumble. They had a fumble, so it washed out. So right now we're winning 2 out of 8 areas. But then here's the big one. Okay, 2 defensive touchdowns from Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's checkmate. That puts the win together. Okay, 2 defensive touchdowns. Devin Versuk, who stepped in for recently released Kyle Wilson at linebacker. And Julian Hauser, defensive end, man. He got an interception, or he got some kind of defensive touchdown. They had a fumble. They're looking really good, man. Looking really good. They won 35-17 over Montreal. Big upset. Now, it is Montreal's 4th straight game. In my game preview, I talked about some of the limitations there. So Montreal had a backup quarterback in, McLeod Bethel Thompson. They did play their 4th straight game. And they're on the road again, and you get worn out after a while. You know, Hamilton came off a bye week, so a lot of things were going Hamilton's way. I didn't think they could do it without Greg Bell in there running the ball, but they did. They did a good job. They ran the ball. They outrushed Montreal. They scored defensive touchdowns. That's Montreal's way of winning, and they stole it from them. That's nice. Good job, Hamilton. Whoop, whoop. Tiger Cats get the win, finally. First win in June since 2019. That's huge. Okay. Next. In the ELF this morning here in Indianapolis, Roclaw Panthers went to Farivar and Throners. What happened? They came out, they threw the ball well, they ran the ball well, they looked really good, they scored some touchdowns, they got 24 points. Probably less than what I expected them to get, way less than I expected. I figured they'd get 42 points. Farivar and Throners came out and they showed their best offensive. I feel bad because someone commented, some fake lines, and I said I would pick Roclaw by 32.5. But I said that's because I didn't believe in Farivar's offense. But Farivar played really well on offense for once. That's really good. They scored 19 points. Most of it was in the 4th quarters. They tried to come back into the game. So you could say it's garbage time points. But, they lost 24-19. So Roclaw won 24-19. Farivar, they scored 19 points, though. And most of it was in the 4th quarter. They're trying to, hang on. They did score 3 points in the first half, but they played a lot better than I thought they would play, honestly. So I apologize to Farivar and Throners about not believing your offense, but you still lost. I still won that pick, so whatever. If there was a money line, I would have picked Roclaw for the money line. No one gave me that option, but I would have picked that. Madrid, it's good for us to lose occasionally, obviously, because we didn't lose very much in the IFL last weekend. And what happened? They pulled down the betting line. Yikes. We win too much. They pull on the betting line. They kick us off the site, man. That's sad. Okay, second ELF prediction, Madrid Bravos went to Hamburg Sea Devils. As predicted, Madrid came out. They did everything. They ran the ball. They passed the ball. Reed Sinet had a good game. Aaron Krushenk had a good game. They had a couple of running backs who played great, including Andy Owosu and Mario something or other. Okay, some Spaniard running back, and they came out and ran for 168 yards. They threw a couple hundred yards. Hamburg, Pete Dendelay, man, Michael Leon threw 3 picks. Just a bad game. I think they really needed Talia Tagovailoa. They really needed that boost, but they don't have it anymore. They gave him up, and he's a Massachusetts Pirate now. So, all right, so that leads us to the IFL. in our IFL betting guide. So here we go. First, tonight, Saturday, June 28th, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, Fisher's Freight, who got a win over the Green Bay Blizzard last week, are 3-9. They're traveling to the Tulsa Oilers, who are 7-5. They'll be breaking in a new quarterback with T.J. Edwards broken out from last week, injured. They're 7-5, 3-9. Tulsa desperately needs a win here. This is basically a playoff game for Tulsa, man. Fisher's Freight can beat you. Obviously, they beat Green Bay Blizzard last week. Green Bay, they played well. But Fishers knocked them off. They played equally well. So Tulsa's got to come play in this game, even though it's 3-9 or 7-5. They got to come and play, man. If you're a playoff team, you got to win this game. I said that last week. If you're a playoff team, you got to beat Massachusetts. And they didn't do it. They got injured. T.J. Edwards got hurt. But I'm saying, if you're a playoff team, you got to beat Fisher's Freight. Otherwise, you're going to be passed by the Massachusetts Pirates. Okay, they're hot right now, and they're getting ready to pass you up, and you've been losing. So, with that in mind, I got Tulsa win this game 43-39 at home. I think they're tougher at home than on the road, like most IFL teams. So I got Tulsa win this game 43-39. Total points being 82. DraftKings didn't have a betting line. If they get one later, I'll do shorts on that. Okay. So I got Tulsa beating Fisher's Freight. Boop. Trying to stay in that playoff race. It's still race to 10 wins. Saturday, June 28th, tonight, 8:05. All these games are on IFL Network. You have to subscribe and stuff. Okay, but I've done that. So Saturday, June 28th, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Massachusetts Pirates 6-5 at Quad City Steamers 9-3. Probably a playoff preview, honestly, if the teams keep going as they were. If Quad City did get knocked off last week by Jacksonville Sharks, I could see them being a 1 or 2 seed. I could see Massachusetts being a 3 or 4 seed. This could be a first round matchup. Okay. 6-5, 9-3. Mass Pirates need to keep winning. It's the race to 10 wins to get the playoff spots. So they're at 6-5. They got to do a lot of work. They need a lot of work. Quad City needs really one more win. Quad City needs one more win. They'll be fine. Massachusetts needs 4 more wins. Okay. And if Tulsa loses, they only need 3 more wins. So it goes the opposite way. Tulsa loses, they need 3 more wins. So Tulsa's got to win. Massachusetts are going to Quad City. Massachusetts tends to struggle at Quad City, at Moline. They tend to struggle there. Now they're on a hot streak, so it's hard to say what trend's going to work out. Do the Mass Pirates struggle on the road at Quad City and Moline, or do they continue to be the hottest team in the league with an extent to a 5-game winning streak? So it's a tough call for me. I say they keep playing crappy at Quad City. So I say Quad City wins this game 43-41. Daquan Neal gets to win after taking his first loss of the season last week against Jacksonville. I think Quad City wins 43-41, 84 points scored. DraftKings pulled down their finding. That's going to be a playoff-like game, dude. That's why I have a 43-41. It should be a playoff-type game, okay? I do think Quad City will win because they're at home. I think that's what the deal's going to be. But Massachusetts won on the road last year in the playoffs and 1 road game, so could go either way. I'm saying 43-41 Quad City. Okay. Saturday, June 28th, 8:05 p.m. Jacksonville Sharks 8-4 at Iowa Barnstormers 1-10. Jacksonville, like Iowa gave up last week against Vegas Nighthawks. Their defense is totally gave up. Offense was still producing, still doing their thing. Jacksonville, if you're a playoff team, you should win this game, guys. If you're going to be good to the championship, like I predicted you're going to be in the season, you got to beat the Iowa Barnstormers, even though it's on the road in Iowa. I know going on the road is tough in the IFL. You got to beat them. You got to beat them. If you're the real deal, you got to win this game against Iowa. Okay. I got Jacksonville winning on the road, 52-44 over Iowa, 96 total points. I think Jacksonville will get 1 win closer to a playoff spot, so race to 10 wins in the East. Okay. So I got Jacksonville winning 52-44, going 9-4. So if Quad City loses, man, that's going to be Jacksonville at the top real quick. Okay, Green Bay Blizzard 8-4, Arizona Rattlers 7-5. Rattlers on a 4-game losing streak. They just changed their whole roster the last 2 days. Green Bay changed a bunch of players too. So it's hard to say what's going to happen. I would think that with the Rattlers changing all their players, they're going to come out and get this win. But I heard, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Desert something curse. When they played this Desert Diamond Arena, okay? They lose there a lot. Last year they won the national championship game, but it wasn't in the Desert Diamond Arena, okay? So I say Green Bay gets back on the winning track. I think Max Myler comes out and plays well, I think he'll bounce back from he played really well last week, but I think he'll bounce back and get a win. And Arizona will be searching for answers to end their losing streak, and I think Green Bay wins this game 54-47. They're very similar teams, especially with Drew Powell, quarterback for the Rattlers. I mean, very similar teams, both very run-heavy teams. I got Green Bay win this game 54-47. I had Cal an upset. That would be an upset to me, not statistically, but in terms of my feelings about teams, I think Arizona's a better team. Green Bay getting the win would be an upset in my mind. Okay, but I think they can do it. I think 54-47, 111 points scored. Is that 111 points? No, it's 101 points. My math is bad. 101 points. Okay. Saturday, June 28th, 9:05 p.m. We got Bay Area Panthers at Northern Arizona Wranglers. Panthers are 9-2, top team in the IFL in my mind. Northern Arizona Wranglers are 1-11, near the bottom in the IFL. This is very similar to the Iowa Barnstormers game. Northern Arizona can beat people, but if Bay Area is the top team in the league, as I predict they are, they got to win this game on the road in Northern Arizona. And a tough win, okay? And I say they do it. I say Bay Area Panthers win this game 47-35 over Northern Arizona Wranglers, and they get the win. That's my prediction, okay? So there we go. And then Sunday, June 29th, tomorrow, 6:05 p.m. Eastern, Vegas Nighthawks at Tucson Sugar Skulls. I gotta say Tucson gets the win here. No. We go back. Vegas Nighthawks get the win here. They're 7-5. Tucson's 5-6. They're going on a road. Tucson could win this game. It could. And if they do, Arizona's in some poop, man. Now they're getting closed in on by Tucson. But here's why Arizona's not stressing, because I think Vegas Nighthawks are going to beat Tucson Sugar Skulls 46-40 on the road, 86 total points scored, and that will put the Vegas Nighthawks firmly in playoff position, and that will take the Tucson Sugar Skulls firmly out of playoff position, allowing the Arizona Rattlers to slip in, winning minimal games. Okay, they might make a run to the championship. That's how it goes in the IFL. Whether you're the 4th seed or the 1st seed, you're just 2 wins away from winning a national championship. So I think Vegas gets the win here, 46-40, and that's my IFL predictions. I will throw together a short, my CFL prediction for tonight, which will be BC Lions and Saskatchewan Roughriders. I'm gonna do a little bit longer short because there's no betting guide to make really, other than what I stated here. I'm gonna go put these predictions in a short too for tonight's IFL games. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how the predictions went. I hope you have a good day. And Football Scientific in Indianapolis is complete. Oh, also subscribe to the channel. Boop. Need more subscribers. If I get 500 subscribers, I get paid or something. That's pretty cool. Like the video, of course. Okay, and then check out footballannouncers1.com. I got plenty of articles there. Everyone's got plenty of articles. We got a ton of articles there. CFL News Hub. If you like CFL, some people hit me up saying they like the CFL. They're happy I'm covering it. CFL News Hub has all kinds of articles you'll see that are not going to be on CFL.ca or 3 Down Nation. I think we're better than both. We'll see. We're the only one with an app. Write that down. We're the only one with a mobile app. So that's that. Okay, well, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow, probably back in the Football Scientific Studios. Bye.